Libra, hey, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it, Libra. We are in the throes of Pisces season, so it's been bringing up a lot. It's been bringing up a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions around situations, people, dynamics. Venus is in retrograde right now, which is highlighting relationships specifically, and the tension that we're finding there. It's not all easy, right? I mean, obviously, that's why it's triggering emotion. What I love about the astrology today, however, is we're starting to see some of the air and fire element enliven. So basically meaning that as emotions are triggering us, as we're kind of feeling a little bit bogged down, overwhelmed, maybe even a little depressed, with what is going on, we're finding some empowerment, right? Like that fire energy is igniting new thoughts, new ideas, new inspirations coming in that are really going to help us overcome. Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac, and then we move into Aries season. We're coming up on the spring equinox. We have, as things transition into that space, it's the first house, house of self. So there's going to be more focus on who we are, right? And how we're going to integrate, how we're going to start new, start fresh. That's why Pisces can be a little bit emotional, because it's forcing us to look at and contend with the things that really aren't going in our favor. And the disconnect, right? The disconnect between our fantasy and the reality of things is a great way to say it. That's why I like to start off with these energy cleansings, just kind of set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. It's also a great way to cleanse out some of the limitation we might be finding ourselves in. And it's a great time to set your own intention for the reading as well, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something that you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at what's specifically going on for you in your situation, or if you're just looking for more of a rebalancing, a realignment with mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we are operating from that space of alignment, we're way better, more suited, more situated to choose things that bring us happiness and fulfillment, not the quick fixes, right? We're willing to learn or listen, learn our intuition and listen to it at the same time. So we're getting good results, right? We all deserve it. So if you want to connect, I would love to help support in whatever way possible. All the information to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, Libra, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being, so we may see and sense the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, love. All right, Libra. So I'm hearing this value, like, as there is some transitioning happening around us. The overarching energy is really talking about, like, finding that balance between making steps, but also being patient, being peaceful in the process. I'm hearing that like you're ready for something. You're ready for something to come in. I feel like you have enough awareness, enough knowledge, enough knowing. There's this value though, like, I mean, it's not saying that like things don't pop up in your mind, in your heart, in your emotions, etc. Like, you're still definitely feeling the feels, but there's something that you're feeling a little bit more prepared for. I love that. Believe. This is your overarching energy this week. How magical with the mermaid. She is liberation and self-worth. She is the premier catalyst of feminine resolution, beckoning you to believe in yourself and to own your life. I love that. I think it's so powerful, right? Regardless of what your gender is, etc. This is just all about like female divine feminine energy is tapping into our abundance, tapping into our potential, knowing that we can create whatever we want. We have so much inside of us, so much that when we believe in ourselves, when we believe in the impossible, it actually does make manifest, right? I mean, how many times do you hear people say, I never thought my life would look like this? And, you know, but they're like, there's good things that come from it, and that is part of this release. It's part of this letting go. The flying fish is rise above, but I'm also hearing this as like, you know, things that are only meant to be in your life for a period of time, right? This kind of value of whether it's just a stepping stone, whether it's there to teach you a lesson, i.e. fair weather friends, people who don't necessarily, you know, give in that reciprocity, in that kind of cultivating of the life that you want to be living. But rather than drowned in the negativity, rise above it and nurture positivity until it rains. Be conscious, be purposeful, be light. And there is this value of innate rhythms in life, in nature. Sorry, this got like a kind of interesting turn, Libra, but I feel like you're learning to operate, to work within the rhythms. And I think in a lot of ways, it's kind of coming from this place where maybe you've had some things that have really disheartened you or thrown you off course. Things where it did challenge your belief system, whether or not you could actually cultivate this idea that you're wanting to bring in. It has taken time to get here. Like, it's almost like you had to be beaten down a little bit before you could rise up and overcome. But I feel like it was also valuable for the place that you're going, is what I'm hearing, right? There's a part of you that's, well, and this, as I'm saying this, there's a part of you that's being a little too self-protective, a little bit comfortable, like kind of seeking those creature comforts in a way that it might be stalling or inhibiting things from coming in. And not good, bad, right, or wrong. That, as I said that, like I was saying, that was a theme in the collective reading this week, the weekly reading. Definitely check it out if you are interested. But it did really talk about how we have to kind of get out of our comfort zone. And like I said, in your blocked energy is risk. So it feels like you've been playing it safe. Rightfully so. Again, not good, bad, right, or wrong. I feel like it's actually given you an opportunity to kind of really observe and be aware about your surroundings, about your environment, what you're dealing with, etc. And then being able to take it a step further and actually pay attention to the rhythms of life, right? Like, sometimes we're busy, we have so many things on our to-do plate, and we need all the energy in the world, right? But then there's those times where like not a lot is going on, we're twiddling our thumbs, we're also anxious, like I should be doing something, whatever. But it's this value of kind of taking those opportunities to rest, to restore when need be, not overwhelming yourself. Yeah, finding that balance, right? Like, if you need to get stuff done, get it done. Don't be lazy per se, because procrastination hurts in the long run, right? But at the same time, like, you feel like you have a system in place is what I'm seeing. And I really love this with you embodying temperance energy. It truly is this value of knowing and how to work with the elements in order to really kind of manifest, activate what you're stepping into. And it's been a long time coming, right? Like, back to that first channeled message. You're ready to go. And I feel like you are having some trouble believing in the impossible. I love the mermaid tail, right? The magic. What can actually happen in life. It looks like you're putting in a lot of good effort, a lot of good energy this week towards making that happen. But it's also taking energy, right? Like, it's a lot to kind of maintain two opposite forces. And you're having to wear a lot of different hats, and it is stressful. Like, it's almost like I'm hearing for you, Libra, finding a little bit more fluidity in all the different hats, all the different roles that you embody, right? And not letting, like, I don't know, it's kind of like when you don't want to be doing something and you're getting like kind of annoyed about it. Almost like not letting that overwhelm, overshadow, cloud your day, etc. Because you are going to need your strength. It does look like things have kind of shifted. And I feel like this shift is, yes, coming from within you, but it's also being reflected back to you in your environment with the people, the situations that you're around. Someone or something, again, whether this is coming from within you, you're just like not putting energy into the bullshit, into the toxicity anymore. And I feel like that's part of where some of this magic has died, because you thought it was going to work out in a certain way, and it hasn't. And if anything, it's actually been kind of toxic, 100%. Someone's dishing their toxicity left and right, you know, or you just seem to be a whipping post for everyone and everything. But you're also in this place where you're not going to take it anymore. You've been on the defensive for a long time. So again, be mindful of this energy moving forward, because I'm hearing it as like, again, this is part of those reality checks when we limit ourselves because of other shitty people or situations, right? Sometimes people just do not nice things, you know, to whatever capacity. And we have to, in our own heart, in our own mind, make peace with that, contend with the reality of it in order to let go so we can move forward, right? You are a little bit on the defensive this week. I'm hearing rightfully so, because you're kind of protecting yourself. It's showing that, like, again, you're not feeding into what, you know, what's kind of been cruel. A cruel mistress is what I'm hearing. Like, things that have just made it really difficult, put a lot of responsibility on you, forced you to kind of be the one to pick up all the pieces. Lots of 7s, 8s, and 9s. So okay, that's like all we have on the board is 7, 8, and 9. So it's like, I'm hearing this as you're pushing through to the last end, you know, you are in that space of closing something out. I think that you're closer than what you even think, 100%. And I feel like you actually are kind of ready to, quote unquote, activate what you've set the foundation for, what you've set the stage for. Be calculated with your risks, but don't be afraid to take them, is what I'm hearing, right? Like, you can take them, but be mindful with your approach. Try not to be too much in the fantasy world, into the places that have kind of gotten you, you know, into a bad situation in the past, right? Naivete, ignorance, blind ignorance, that type of vibe, believing in some someone something, or, you know, a little bit to a fault. This is about expanding your horizons. I feel like we have the 11th house. Even though we're coming from this winter season in the northern hemisphere, there is kind of just this, well, whatever, wherever you're located, it doesn't really matter. This is basically just talking about like how, you know, in those winter months, we are more with self. We are taking that time to kind of adjust and situate ourselves, to think over, to bring awareness so we can make different choices accordingly. And I feel like part of this activation is you seeking out new beginnings, messages, communication with people, places, and things. This is part of where this risk needs to be taken for you this week, Libra. Again, you know, put yourself out there, believe in the impossible, but don't necessarily buy into things hook, line, and sinker, right? That's kind of where that patience component is coming into play. But I'm not really concerned about you because it looks like you have a really solid foundation. You have a lot of awareness. You've been working really hard at this thing and you're ready, right? You're ready to activate that lava star. I love it. All right. Thank you so much, Libra. I hope this message, this reading helped. I hope it resonated. Definitely drop comments below if it did. I love to hear or say hey, share, and a little love, a little TLC. I super appreciate all the love, all the support you bring to the channel. Know I'm sending it back your way.